John Fowler is the referee in charge of this game, which is the best of 5 sets.
Place, the last game of the night about to take place, and it's bienvenue à lot 2 or lot 2, because we have here the Frenchman Thibaut Tricole from Brittany against the man from the Scottish borders, the lovely town of Kelso, Ryan Hogarth. I don't know whether he'll paint any pictures, but there was a Hogarth, wasn't there? Was it, William, who painted quite a few?
Practice starts over. First set, first leg, Ryan to throw first. Game on.
So it's Hogarth with the darts, and this the last game now in this round of 32. We'll know exactly
16.
the entire draw in the men's competition for the last 16 stage. And the winner of this poll has the pleasure of playing the number 2 seed.
Yeah.
Mr. Williams from the Welsh borders.
Playing a wee Jemmy. I've known Ryan a few years.
97.
Always had the potential. Has played in the World Championship before. And he's had some better results in 2019 in the last 12 months before this event. Namely, making the final of the Dutch Open, which is no mean feat. Lost out to Veenstra in that final.
140.
But I've never been short of confidence. And I've always been an admirer of his nickname and the artwork. You mentioned artwork, John. On the back of his shirt, it's delightfully sinister.
58.
Yeah.
Well, he's got some support by the looks of it, Tricole. You did his game, did you, the other day when he managed to get through, beating Ross Montgomery in that remarkable game, wasn't it?
Yeah, arguably the game of the tournament.
59.
And went all the way to the end, and Thibaut was just excellent under pressure. Now, he's going to have to be quick here, Ryan, because that second dart is a tiny bit precarious. He should be nowhere near it. And isn't. He's left himself double 12. That'll do.
Thibaut
I'm not sure he was going for the 19.
149.
But that's the good thing about 3 and 19. It's a bit like 10 and 6 sometimes.
62.
And 7 and 19 sometimes,
Ryan
yeah.
requires 24.
Cost for double 6.
Game
Down
shot
the
on the first
line
leg.
with the last
Ryan
one.
Hogarth.
First blood to the
Second
Scotsman.
leg, Thibaut to throw
Tricole has
first.
taken out
Game
one
on.
Scotsman. And Ross Montgomery says, Hogarth to me,
85.
Ryan says, one of his greatest friends. He said, it's just another dart match, but I can't help but feel that there's an element of revenge about it, because he is such a good friend, he said,
42.
Ross.
It shouldn't really be about that, should it? It should be just about his own agenda and getting through to the next phase to play against Jim Williams.
95.
And I think that's what it is primarily. But there's just a tinge of my old mates on his way back home,
Yeah,
because this fella beat him.
Just a wee tinge.
95.
Now, you and I have spent a bit of time in Kelso, haven't we, John?
Yeah, yes, we've done some good exhibition up there a few years ago. Very, very good
81.
exhibition.
Yeah, the best one I was involved in was it was the Saturday before the Miracle at Medina in 2012. That was a very
100.
boisterous Saturday night.
I do believe that was the one I was on. It was about that time anyway. Yes, it would be.
38.
And Ryan was involved in that one as well. Hadn't made as much of an impact as he has in the last couple of years at that point. But fast forward to 2020, and he may be considered the favourite for this game, but after the way that Thibaut played in the last game, I don't know, it's a bit of a coin flip for me.
Yes, Thibaut's here with his partner, Murray.
121.
She doesn't speak English, but he does reasonably well. And my French is probably about the same as his English, as we're going to go here
111.
You're trying to get the snooker shot there, the 147. Double 5 for Ryan. Oh, it wasn't far away. I think when he threw that, he thought I was in.
36.
Borderline. If you come from the borders, you know that Kelso
18.
is there in the borders region. That's who Hogarth plays for, actually, in the
10.
Scottish inter-counties.
Same hole as the last one, but now it's a guide. He's got to hit the barrel. Oh, and he did. Wonderfully done. Ryan Hogarth.
Yes, he used that dart intelligently there. Not so much with his second arrow, but certainly with his third. So 2-0 up in this opening set.
Here's another nice town around where Ryan lives. Galashiels, lovely.
Yes, I have been to Galashiels, Jedburgh.
Sounds remarkably Geordie, doesn't it, Galashiels?
It does a little bit.
Straight at the A696 from Newcastle Airport. Doesn't take long to get up there. It's amazing how the accents change in 50 miles.
45.
It's amazing how the accent changes in 4 miles. You're going to Berwick-on-Tweed, which is in Northumberland, and it is predominantly a Northumbrian accent. Just go 4 or 5 miles north of the border where my brother lives, and it's as Scottish can be.
Yeah, you get into Gary Anderson country up there near Eyemouth.
That's where, yes, that's right, it is. Yes, Burnside.
30.
That's a bit of a myth, isn't it? A lot of darts fans automatically think that Gary's probably from Edinburgh or Glasgow, but he's actually from Eyemouth.
140.
Well, Thibault's had a really good response here, but in this set, he's up against it.
41. Thibault requires 140.
So, looking for the first leg. He's not going to go now. 125, 65 left. He may well go for the bull. I'm not sure. Well, he did in 94. The end, but he'll end up with 46 required.
If he gets a deep run under his belt this week, Thibault, he might find himself still as the second 45. Best Thibault in sport, behind Thibault Courtois.
46.
Who is, of course, Belgian. Thibault needs double 16.
Game shot,
and he sneaks that one in to keep this set alive at 2-1 down.
And against the darts as well, Nico, because that's important. He's throwing now to level up the set, although Hogarth, of course, does have the darts 55. In the decider, even if he loses this. Comes from Brittany, Tricole, the town of Malguinac. And I said,
140.
Which team do you support? It was Lorient. I said, well, surely that's in the east. He said, no, it's in there, in the town.
100.
Do I even need to mention how happy you are about football this evening?
Yes, well, I don't know the final score or the latest score. I know City were winning 3-0 at one stage.
Well, if you don't want to know the score, 91. Please turn away now. 1, 2, 3. 3-1.
3-1. So there we are. We'll see what happens at the Etihad in 3 weeks' time or a fortnight's time. 3 weeks.
Ryan's got those really sparkly barrels at the minute. They've not seen a lot of action, those ones. I think they're quite new. But I do think that those gold barrels go very nice with the purple on his flights. That's quite the statement.
140.
Bit of black and white from Thibault, and he's got himself in a nice position here to elongate this set even more, maybe.
$54.
Chance here then.
Thibault requires 106.
106. Now he wants 46. Now he wants 36. Double 18.
Ryan requires
He's a pretty quick thrower.
Ryan's not going to take out the 156. He might lay up for double 8. Just shy. That second 60 that he needed.
18.
Double 9. It was good to him in the last game against Montgomery. It's been good to him here.
Fifth leg,
is he going to be the scourge of the Scottish?
I like that phrase, the scourge of the Scottish.
I just don't think as well, John. He might be the third most famous Tebow, because you got Thibaut Courtois, and then there was an American football player who was very famous called Tim Tebow.
As a surname, I see.
Correct. Yeah. And spelled differently. There's only one Ryan Hogarth.
And
58.
The scourge of the Scottish. Hogarth here, if he wins this, takes the set, and of course that applies
100.
to Tricole, who's actually nosed ahead. This is crucial in many ways. It's early in the
45.
game, I know, but it's just as crucial to get that deciding leg in a set at any stage in the game.
He sensibly went for the 18s on the first start, but
40.
pushed it wide. And Hogarth is showing small signs of frustration because he scored well at the start of this match, but is just losing his range a little bit, coming up dry.
59.
He does again.
Well, that certainly isn't artwork that Hogarth would approve of, but we'll let you off, lads.
Well, the Frenchman is not getting his maths wrong. That was a nice switch to ensure the finish. 50 ahead. And
60.
He's only adrift by 10, but in a hugely advantageous position here.
Oh, what an
82.
important last start to halve the score. 82 scored, 82 left, 154. It becomes 94. Becomes 76 just for a second.
138.
Well, I would say Hogarth marginally
82.
the favourite, but only marginally.
Oh, he is now, because that 11 leaves 71. Needs a perfect treble, which he doesn't get. And Hogarth,
42.
by virtue of that beautiful approach, should win the first
16.
set now.
Yes, only needed one dart to win the set. He was 2-0 up, it came back to 2-2.
Game on.
And takes that decider. How vital might that be?
59.
In, what, 40 minutes, 50 minutes time? We'll see.
Not the best set average-wise, but he does not care one jot about that right now.
81.
Yeah, Ryan got in touch with me a couple of months ago, just asking for some pointers. Well, maybe he needs to watch Tebow as he gets himself in the max column. And he was asking for any advice. Well,
59.
he's the one on the stage, I'm the one in the commentary box. I'm not sure why he's asking me for advice. One thing I would say is that when he brings the dart back towards his face, there's a little bit of movement vertically of that flight. You see that move just before he throws it, it goes up and then back down.
60.
I think if he can somehow eliminate that movement of the dart before he throws it, that he might get a bit more consistency, but that is quite a big change in his
36.
grip.
That's right, the lad's 27 years of age. He's probably been doing it like that ever since he picked up a dart. Very difficult to eradicate.
100.
But then again, it's worked for him in many tournaments that he's played at his young age, like you say. And if he can make small changes
43.
and make small improvements, who's to say what he can't do and what he can do? That's a great first start.
100.
Just don't know why he hasn't gone for the 25 with the ball there. I just don't get it.
He's gone for the 57, now he's left 72, 64, that'll leave him with 16 by my reckoning.
Yeah, good counting there, John.
Requires 101.
But bad tactics from Hogarth, because he's only going to get one dart a double. Could have had two. But it doesn't matter.
In the first leg.
What do I know when Headhunter hunts out tops for that 101 out? He's buzzing right now.
Second leg, Ryan to throw first. Game on.
Very impressive finish that. rat-a-tat-tat. And 101 taken out. Now has the throw. And really
66.
doesn't make the most. The Scotsman gets 66. You were there when I say in an exhibition. That's the year England won the World Cup.
Yeah, you weren't very popular for a couple of minutes there, John.
Yeah.
I think you said that when I was about to play Gary Anderson. Thanks for that.
137.
Yes, you and I had a great time up in Inverness. A year, 18 months ago, wasn't it? Brilliant. Inverness and on to Shetland. Brilliant people up there.
123.
Yeah, my favourite town in Scotland, Inverness. Just stunning. Oh, good switch from Hogarth. I like that a lot, because that 128 leaves 170. That is really good tactics. He may have made a mistake in the previous leg, in my opinion, but right there, he knew exactly what he was trying to leave.
And I would contend that there's a difference between a mistake and a difference of opinion. The mistake is when he can't go out, say. The difference of opinion is when he has his way and you have yours.
Very well said, John.
142.
Well, Hogarth right now is playing as well as I've seen on the big stage. Take the average away, it doesn't matter. It's just certain moments are excellent. That's a guide.
20.
Didn't use it.
Having hit it
Thibaut requires
previously.
98.
And Thibaut needs 98. He needs 93 now. That first start, you've got to get it.
28.
Got to get it closer than that, otherwise you're going to be trailing by 2-0 before
Game
too long, because Hogarth won't hang about.
Shouldn't really call him headhunter, because that's
Third
not
leg,
how they would say it in Scotland. I'll call him a heat hunter. I'm sure my friend John Henderson will be laughing at me saying that.
125.
Great shot at double 10. If you can just tighten up a little bit on that 60, you get the feeling that
97.
Ryan's in the right kind of mood to dispose of Thibaut's chances quickly.
135.
Good rhythm, hasn't he? Says his favourite player actually is Yella Klassen. He said because he likes the way he throws, he likes the rhythm, he likes his
54.
speed. He could easily have said Vincent van der Voort or anybody else who throws in that vein.
Yeah, I think he's got lovely rhythm. Very watchable.
100.
And I think over the next few seasons he's one to watch, because French darts needs somebody to take the reins. And he could be the guy.
83. Thibaut requires 141.
141. So 81 left. So 62. Cross for treble 10.
89.
And I can't remember, and I've been commentating a long time. Can't remember ever
97.
commentating on a French player.
Thibaut
And I must
requires
have,
52.
but if there is one, he didn't hang around too long. Was that green bit
Game shot in the
Beckham?
third leg.
Yes, he needed that. This could be like the first
Fourth
set,
leg,
couldn't it?
Ryan
Where he was
throws
two
first.
legs down, got it
Game
back to
on.
2-2.
Now, one of the reasons why we haven't seen a great deal of French talent in this championship, or others for that matter, even though Thibaut played in the World Masters at the Circus Tavern back in October, is that soft-tip darts is predominant
40.
in France, and they do send teams to the World Cup over in the Far East for that. But in steel tip, they're only just starting to take it seriously. But you get the feeling that what I said earlier about needing a figurehead, someone to really bring it to the masses, he could be the guy. I think he's shown by beating Ross
58.
Montgomery that that is the case.
Yes, well put. Très bien, sir, monsieur.
De rien.
100.
Oh, they're both trying to speak the language of darts right now, which is universal across the world.
95.
Isn't it just, yes?
Ryan
The
requires
180 is an
127.
international word. words.
Now he leaves double 14, and that will be to close this set out and put himself in the same position that Gary Robson was in after 2 sets. But unfortunately for him, Ben Hazel had enough after the break. So double 14 for Ryan.
Fraction in, and he's made good judgment before. That was unlucky because it ricocheted into the single 14, and he's very sensible there. He squared it off, hasn't he? He didn't go for the double 7, which in fairness our cameraman wasn't to know that.
58.
Yeah, I think that's pretty smart tactics there. I think, you know, going for the double 7 would have been overly aggressive, and now we can just hit this double 4 or double 2, get it done with the right hand side of double 2.
4.
Well, he'll maybe regret not going for double 7 if Tricole takes out a big finish. He can't now. But that double 2's caused problems this week for players.
Ryan requires 4.
Remember too many times when it's been hit first time.
Game
Well,
showing a second
took
set.
him 4 darts or 3 darts to get it.
First
With
leg,
Jim Williams.
Ryan to throw first.
Well, I've had some nice
Game
messages in the
on.
break. One from my friend Hendo that we mentioned. He was in fact amused by the heed hunter remark. So
100.
hello to John and Veronica Henderson watching up in Huntly. And I've had a nice message from Fraser Gunn as well, our friend from Northern Scotland, who said keep up the great work, John and
99.
Paul. So
Excellent.
thanks, Fraser.
That's nice. I look forward to seeing you again, Fraser, before too long.
Yeah, I've also had a message from Russell Roebuck, who said he's to blame for the headhunter nickname. So
83.
if it catches on worldwide, Russell, we're going to have to blame you for everything.
Well, it's La Tête de Tricole at the moment that he's hunting.
118.
And 118 will help him a little there. Just take a narrow lead in this opening leg
100.
of the 3rd set. Big climb back here for Tricole. We know that he's got the game to do it. When you throw like he does, and he is
100.
very like Jelle in his action, when you can hit one of those surges, those phases where everything goes in, everything goes right, and your opponent just gets blown away, he'll be hoping for that.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Thibault was a bit like that. And let's not forget that when he played Ross Montgomery,
140.
Montgomery came out
Ryan
like a man
requires
possessed.
84.
He played amazing darts, and then Thibault just weathered the storm. But Hogarth is looking for Bull to deny.
49.
Thibault shot a 44.
Thibault requires
Too many
44.
shots this week I've seen have not really worried the bullseye in vital spots, but
Game
double
shot in the
16
first leg.
has been
Thibault Tricole.
an ami
Second
of
leg. Thibault to throw
Thibault
first.
Tricole.
Game on.
A friend needs to keep going to see that friend, because if he does, I feel he might get back into the match.
57.
Yes, getting that against the darts will have given him a lift for certain.
Looking in the eyes of Ryan Hogarth, you can tell that he desperately wants to win this match quickly, and there's never a lack of intensity when Ryan plays.
140.
I've also had a message in the break from a fellow Northumbrian, Callan Ridds, fabulous young player.
93.
And he said he played with Ryan at the Berwick Open Pairs a couple of seasons ago, and he was beaten in that final by Chris and Gordon
40.
Dobie. So
well,
a father and son combo.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah, Berwick upon Tweed making another appearance there. Yeah, fabulous town up in
60.
north of the country, the gateway to the southeast of Scotland. He was
6-4 ahead here by 23, and now make that
140.
163, goes down to 124, and this ought to be 2-0 in the set for
100.
Tricole.
Thibault requires 124.
only a ton from Ryan, ensures that Thibault's got 6 darts and 124. And one person is improving their game,
84.
one is not.
Again, I mean, I did mention when they went off
57.
that Hogarth would rather
Tebow
stay on.
requires
He was on a
40.
bit of a roll, and now
Game shot in the
it's
second leg.
Tricole who's on the roll as he hits double top.
Right in the catch-up there. That was a beautiful tops, wasn't it? Right in the middle.
Third
And
leg, Ryan
2-0 in this
first.
set.
Game on.
In a flash.
I've heard it called the red bit, I've heard it called the lipstick. That's the first time I think I've heard it called the ketchup. I like it.
100.
For some reason, I've got this thing about calling everything something related to food. I should be a lot more,
100.
a lot bigger than I actually am, John. Well, that is a beautiful first start from Ryan. Hits that first flight, he'll just nestle under
100.
a little bit more. He'd be disappointed with that ton after the first start.
I agree. You'd have thought certainly he'd get a ton 40. Come off the break very well,
95.
this Frenchman, definitely.
Wonder what percentage of the arsenal
59.
of Hogarth is thinking about the next set already. You should think that he can rattle off 3 straight legs sharpish. So if he stays focused, he can still win this set and the
58.
match. And that, from Tebow, has definitely helped his cause, because now Ryan, with the throw, who only has to break once in this set to win it, 2 holds as well.
100.
I'll get it done, but that's a steady ton from Wright.
$97.
Well, he was aiming for that.
Ryan
He got it
requires
that once, and
142.
it just makes it interesting. 142 against 151. 62 left. Treble 10 he's looking at.
90. Tebow requires 151.
This would be a tremendous finish.
Interesting use of the southern big
58.
treble there to try and leave
Ryan
94
requires
and top,
52.
obviously 54 and tops after that, but now it's tops for Ryan. 10s to stay in the set. Oh,
Game
lovely
shot
dart.
in the
Right on
third
the
leg.
inside
Ryan
of that
Hogarth.
outside wire.
Fourth leg, a Tebow to throw first.
Beautiful
Game
shot.
on.
And 1 hold down. Now he just needs to 1 break and 1 hold, and that'll be job
92.
done. Easier said than done, though.
Yes, easier said than done, as you say. Jackie's still there with his familiar hat on.
Well, if you got frequent sitting miles
41.
in World Championship venues, he would have the most points.
Bang on. By far. A league of his own.
40.
I'd love to know how many darts he's witnessed in World Championships. It must be in the millions.
100.
I do wonder who he supports the most these days, because it used to be a gentleman by the name of Geert de Vos was his favourite player.
137.
Oh, yes.
And Geert hasn't been in the championship the last couple of years. Maybe he's fancying the chances of Mario van den Bogara.
83.
Just lost that little bit of magic. that
122.
commentators, in this case, not a curse. I was just saying, just lost that bit of magic, but he found it there.
Another treble needed. Doesn't get it.
100.
And that could be
Tebow
set done.
requires 110.
Oh, 95. Oh, it's double 19. It could have been set over.
72.
Wasn't a bad shot. And now he's got a choice when he comes back. Does he split or does he go?
Go for it with your first start when you're that far ahead, but be a bit more pragmatic, especially in view of that.
137.
I think,
Tebow
personally,
requires
I think he's
38.
got to split it. Yeah, and he has done. Double 16, double 8.
Game
Well,
shot on
I
the
think he
third
did the
set.
right thing in the
Tebow
end.
Tricole.
And there we are, he's back in the match. 2 sets to
Fourth
1.
set, first leg. Tebow to throw first. Game on.
Yeah, I'm a huge advocate for splitting there, because imagine the scenario for winning the set, and especially when Ryan, like you say, John, hit that lovely
99.
approach of 137 to lead tops. Imagine he goes 19s, goes under with dart 1, then over with dart 2, and he's got one in his left hand and consequently in his right hand that he can't use to win the set. And Hogarth takes that, breaks, and then all he's got to do is hold for the whole match.
Indeed. When you've got one dart left in your hand at the end of a combination and double 19 is there, we call it in Manchester the drop on our little log end board. You're coming from the top of the board to the bottom, and when you throw like he does anyway, oh, what a beautiful shot! Brilliant darts there from the Scotsman. And it's surprising how often it goes in, but it was a different scenario when he came back with 3 darts in his hand.
I used to really like double 19 when I played double start optional, and when I say that, there are many different games around the country and of course the world where you can play double start darts, but up in the northeast we used to have nominated double as well. There used to be a little dial next to the board, and you used to spin the dial, and it would tell you which double you had to start on. But when I had the option, I would always start on double 16, and my switch double was double 19.
Thibaut requires 170.
170 this time for the Frenchman. And I've got a little question for you in a moment, because obviously we're at a key moment in this leg. 16 and double 16.
48.
Oh, dear me, Ryan.
Thibaut requires 110.
110 again. Had it in the last leg. This time he gets the big treble first. Double 16. This is to hold.
78.
Just drags it wide.
I wonder if he had gone through with the shot straight away instead of standing back. We'll never know. He can't believe it's that far away. We just can't believe. He looks embarrassed by it. Double 4 he wants. That's unlucky. That's unlucky.
Thibaut requires 32.
I do wonder what Ryan's shaking his head at. He's going to be shaking it for another reason in a second, maybe.
No score.
And he's not, because all 3 were close,
Ryan
but no Seagull.
Game
no
shot
problem.
on the first leg.
Double 4
Hogarth.
in the end. Forget all the past of that leg.
Second leg, Ryan to throw
concentrate
first.
now on the next.
Game
double
on.
start. You must have played in the Grand Prix at the circuit over in Ireland.
Yeah, one of my favourite events, if not my favourite.
And so you always started on double 16.
Yep.
Therefore, the 9 darter was an impossibility for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, my first year at double in 2009, I decided to use tops a lot, but then I found real favour with double 16 at starting and finishing, and
96.
I just disregarded the 9 darter completely and started to use the tactic of starting on double 16 and then going to the treble 19 to try and compact the shot. Much like you do with starting on tops and going to the 60.
90.
And it worked really well. It was a great tournament for me.
Now, it could have been a rhetorical question because I actually knew
43.
I remember you playing there, but I wanted to know if you could remember.
Some of the games are memorable, some of them weren't.
Yes, indeed. Anyway, back to this game. 2-1 to Scotland. Of course, looking, as I say earlier, though it's not foremost in his mind, looking for revenge. This fella threw brilliantly against
180.
180 is an absolutely magical score when you come from Brittany, and that's his second maximum.
77.
Certain things happening in this match right now that say to me that I don't think this is close to ending yet. Darts on the floor for Hogarth, and Thibaut's starting to motor a tiny bit more. This is going to come down to who's got the nerve, I think. 57 needed,
99.
or a 60. Beautiful
Thibaut
switchback
requires
from
138.
Hogarth to guarantee that finish.
81 left, 62 left, 32 left.
106.
Brilliant.
Ryan requires
Save that for the
167.
kids' math lesson next week.
Yeah, dartboard's a good abacus. You've got a set of darts to use to
97. Thibaut
find your way around,
requires
but
32.
double 16 is left a lot right now for Thibaut. Can he get it this time? Yes, he
shot on
can.
the second leg.
Oh, that was a lovely guide, wasn't it? Dart 2 got himself there.
Third leg,
Equalised in the fourth.
first.
This
Game
game
on.
may just only be beginning.
Yes, he was broken by Hogarth, then he broke back, now throwing first.
60.
Inexorably moving towards a deciding set, possibly. The Celtic fan, he said.
60.
Don't shout too loud, John. They didn't do so well the other day.
No comment. I don't want to get myself in trouble with Hendo.
137.
Those big trebles
46.
are starting to really be elusive for Ryan Hogarth. Just get the feeling that there's a bit of deja vu going on here with the Montgomery game.
That's his partner, Marie. Thibaut Tricole's partner. Lovely
91.
lady, but her English isn't brilliant, to be honest. That matters not.
I bet her English is better than my French.
117.
Well, 117 puts him in pole position here.
60.
Can't leave a finish.
Thibaut
And
requires
132, he can stroll
132.
to this hold of throw. 57 and bull, but he doesn't need to do it. And that's fine.
64.
Only way Hogarth pressures this is with 3 big trebles.
140.
That'll do.
Thibaut
I think he went for the bull and got a
68.
small 20 there.
Yes, that's the only way he could have got 140, isn't it?
Game shot in the third
Oh,
leg.
lovely leg.
Thibaut Tricole.
Absolutely brilliant leg by the Frenchman. He now
Fourth leg,
leads
Ryan to
2-1
throw first.
in this
Game on.
fourth set. And a breaker throw here will take us into the decider. And even if it isn't a breaker throw, he's got another chance.
101.
Here's us thinking that with Hogarth doing what he did at the first 2 sets, that
41.
maybe the game was up, or as they say in France, le jeu sont faits. Well, the game is definitely not up right now.
60.
And I only know that line, John, because I watched the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's not because of my French skills.
41.
You spoiled my image then. The image that I thought he can speak French after all.
Oh, you can see the frustration in the face of Hogarth. Spraying those darts ever so slightly to the left and right now and up and down. He's not getting much in the way of
57.
reward, but if only he can hold here, he can mount a charge to win the match in the next leg, but he has to hold first.
55.
Yes, that's it. Think about the leg you're playing rather than the one that's coming next. And that's really the only sound piece of
100.
advice that I think anybody would give. Concentrate on the moment. And that lies nicely for him. That's his first maximum of the match. He's had to wait a while, but he couldn't have picked a better time.
Yeah, couldn't have picked a much better number to do it on. You're absolutely right, John. Oh, great darts from Thibaut to leave himself
60.
on 130. If Ryan misses, Tricole could win the set. This is a huge dart.
40.
And now Thibaut can strike. This
Thibaut requires
is a very simple
130.
finish. Only 1 treble required. Needs it now. Doesn't get it. And Hogarth,
65.
this is to hold.
Ryan requires 20.
He's got it before first start.
Game
He's got
shot
it
on the
again
fourth leg.
first start. Down the line dart from Hogarth.
Fifth leg.
2
Thibaut
legs
to throw
all in
first.
the fourth
Game
set.
on.
It is indeed game on.
60.
He could win the match right here. Oh, he loves that first start. Loves it. Doesn't mind the second one either.
140.
What he would give for 3 of those and an 81 out, it might be enough at 12, but it won't be if Thibaut gets a 12 of his own.
85.
Yes, he's hitting that treble at the moment with great
97.
regularity, but you can see the reason for him going down there to try and... Well, it would have left him 230, wouldn't
60.
it?
Yeah, he's trying to take the 1 off the end, but
Yeah, I think while he's up there, might as well. Yes, maybe not as good as I first thought, but as I say, it's all a matter of opinion, isn't it?
50.
yeah, only 50. He's got a slender lead of maybe a dart and a half. It all depends on this visit from Thibaut. Doesn't
60.
get in trouble, and Hogarth's got the darts.
Even so, still
44.
needed a score. That's a chance here for the Frenchman to get in with a decent score.
57.
No trouble from him either.
Playing the board all around there.
170.
So he doesn't have to strike. Not that he can.
96.
I think that's what he would classify as a good approach. Would have been a great approach if he'd got that second 57.
59.
Thibaut can only line up Shanghai 20s.
Ryan requires 74.
And now Ryan needs 74 to finish it.
Tops, and that he has to move just over the top of there.
Game,
He
shot,
got it perfectly.
and a match.
That
Right.
was it.